Good morning, Year 3. Welcome to Tuesday's math lesson on the 2nd of March 2021. Today we're going to continue our statistics lesson and we're going to be focusing on interpreting data and thinking about how we can use data to make other graphs or tables. So can you write down today's date and learning objective in your math book and pause the video to give yourself time and then click play when you're ready. So let's get started. Here we have a bar chart that my friend Rosie created. Can you think about the mistakes that she might have made and write them down, please? So some mistakes that Rosie's made, can you find them? Pause the video to give yourself time. Right, let's have a look at what we can see Rosie has either forgot to do or the mistakes that she has made. So first of all, we know that every single bar chart, table, tally chart must have a title so that the reader knows what the data is showing. So this data is showing children's favourite colours. So we've added the title, we've underlined it really neatly. What else has Rosie forgotten to do? Rosie has forgotten to label each axis. So we need to say this axis shows the number of children and the bottom axis, the x-axis, is telling us the colour. Now there's some other mistakes that Rosie has done here. Well done if you spotted the scale. Let's have a look at that. What is the scale going up in? So we've got 2, 3, 5, 6 and 8. Are they equally apart and going up in an accurate scale? They're not. It goes up in 2, then one more, then another 2. So when we use a scale up the side, we need to make sure that it is going up in equal amounts. So it needs to be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or it could go up in 5s, but it must be equal. And final mistake that she's made is, as you can see with this bar charts, her bars have got gaps in or they're really close together. You can use either way, so you can do gaps in between each bar, or you can do them close together, but you mustn't do both. So choose if you want to do them all together like this, or if you want to leave a little gap in between. Well done if you spotted some of those mistakes. I could tell that you've been working really hard to figure out all of the different ways that we can make bar charts and all of the different features that they must include. So let's move on. So here is a table that represents the favourite fruit in year 3. So using this data, let's see what information we can pick out. So pause the video to give yourself some time to work out some facts about this data. Let's have a look together. So I can see by looking at the amounts of children that banana is the most popular fruit. What is the least popular fruit? Well done, the least popular fruit is pineapple with 4 children. So we can work the difference out between those two. We can have 4 and count on to 13, or we can do 13 take away 4. And that leaves us with 9. So the difference between the most popular fruit and the least popular fruit is 9. We can also work out how many children are in year 3. How do we do that? Well done. We can add together all the amounts of children that took part in the survey or the data. So we can add up all of those numbers there and it will give us our answer. Let's have a look at other things that we might have found out. So banana is the favourite fruit, we said that. Pineapple is the least favourite fruit. Oh, twice as many children prefer pear than pineapple. Let's have a look. So pear, we've got 8 children. Pineapple, we've got 4. So twice as many children voted for pear because 2 lots of 4 equals 8. There are 39 children in year 3 altogether, so we work that out by adding up these amounts. And the difference between the favourite fruit and the least favourite fruit is 9. Well done if you spotted any other pieces of information that we can take from this table. Let's see what we need to do next. So next what I want you to do is to use this data, and I want you in your books to create a pictogram. So remember, a pictogram is when you use symbols, it could be a banana, it could just be a circle, to represent the number of children that have voted for each fruit. So we need to think about what would our key represent. So would we do 1 circle equals 1 piece of fruit? Would we do 1 circle equals 2 pieces of fruit? You choose what your scale would be. And secondly, make sure that we've got a title. So what could our title be? And remember to keep looking back at this table here to make sure that your data matches the table that we're using. So pause the video to give yourself some time. Well done everybody. Let's look at mine and see if we got it correct. So here is my pictogram that I chose here. So I decided that my key would be 1 piece of fruit equals 2 children. And the title, I thought it'd be good to keep it short, it's favourite fruit. So let's check. So banana, using our table, how many children voted for banana? 13. So 1 piece of fruit is 2 children, so we're going to count up in twos. So let's see. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and then we've got half a fruit here. So what does that half a fruit represent? Well, if a whole one represents 2, half would represent 1. So we've got 12, 1 more, 13. Let's check apple. We need 9. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, because we've got half of 1. Pear, we need 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. Strawberry is 5. 2, 4, half of a strawberry, 5. And finally, pineapple, we need 4, 2, 4. So give yourself a big tick and a big round of applause if you got exactly the same as me. Well done. So what I want us to do now is I want you to use this data again, but we are going to be making our own bar chart. So let's see how this can work. So to start off, every bar chart needs a title. So I've written the title, favourite fruit, and I've underlined it, and I've not written 1 letter per square because that's not what we do when we write. We write like we're writing in our literacy books, we just write. It's only when we do numbers that we do 1 number per square. So next what we need to do is we need to draw the axes. So here we have our 2 axes. Can you name the one on the bottom and the one on the top? So the axes that we have along the bottom that is going across is the x-axis. And a way of remembering that is an x is a cross. So that little x looks like a cross and the x-axis goes across. This axis up the side we call the y-axis. And I always remember that y is high, so it goes high up. Y, high. Let's have a look at the next job that we need to do. So let's think about the scale that we're going to use. So our data needs to go up to the highest number of children. So it needs to go up to 13. So we could use it as going up, counting up in ones, but look at the size of our y-axis. It's a little bit too long to be writing in our book. Is there a way of making it shorter? We can make it shorter by counting up in twos. And as you can see, on this y-axis, I've not done it in the gaps like this, one number per square, because when it comes to showing, for instance, 13, it's really hard to determine where 13 is. Whereas if you do it on the line, it makes it much easier because it's halfway in between that gap there. So this is our y-axis. The y-axis also needs a label. So what do these numbers show? They show the number of children. And along the bottom on the x-axis, we have our fruit that we are going to show the data for, and also the title, the label, which is fruit. Now what I want you to do is to draw out this bar chart template as we've just talked over, and then can you fill in the data for each fruit that we have, please. Pause the video to give yourself time and then we'll go through it together. So let's have a little look. So how many children picked banana? We've got 13 children. So we're going to go across and draw. So 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So where would 13 be? Well done, 13 would be just in the middle of 12 and 14. So let's look at the next one. So we've got apple, we want 9 children, and for my bar chart I'm going to leave a gap in between each bar. You can do it close together, but for now I'm just going to do it in between, with a gap, sorry. So apple is 9, so go up 8, and then half is 9. Well done if you got that correct. Pear, we want 8 children. So again, I'm leaving a gap. Then you're going up to the 8 line. Can you see how it's easier when we're doing it on the line? Because then we can follow it to the correct number. And then let's choose another colour for strawberry to represent 5 children. So 2, 4, 6. Well, that's too many. So there's our 5. And finally, we have pineapple, and I've chosen purple for pineapple. So 2, 4 children. So there we go. Well done, you have created a bar chart following me and following my instructions, making sure that we are being consistent, so making sure that we've got those gaps in between. But like I said, you can do it like this. There's nothing wrong with doing it like that, but obviously you'll need to adjust your labels at the bottom. But for this one, to make it clearer, I've decided to leave a gap. So we've got our title, we've got our label up the y-axis for number of children, we've got our label on the x-axis, which is fruit. We've got our scale, which is going up correctly. It's not jumping, it's going up in even amounts. And we've written it on the line. So we've not done it in between like that. We've done it on the line because that makes it easier to follow the line across to give us our result. So now it is your turn. So you've got some data on your Chili Challenge charts and you've got some questions to ask. I've noticed that as well on this spicy one there was a little mistake that I've made. So on question 4 it's supposed to say if 6 children voted for banana, how many children voted for apple? Okay, I think it says something a little bit different. Make sure that you label your axes, you give yourself a title, you use a key if you're doing a pictogram, and you keep it really neat and clear. Can't wait to see you all back in school on Monday. Really excited to get us all back together to do our learning as one. So thank you everybody, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.